Hello and welcome back to tksbar. I'm your host Tessa, and today we're going to be making some syrups. Okay, so Halloween's over and maybe you're looking to make some more non-alcoholic drinks. I have some fun syrups that will go well in alcoholic drinks and non-alcoholic drinks. So stay tuned because I am gonna make a video using just these syrups in some really fun non-alcoholic cocktails. So I have made one syrup video in the past and I'll link that up here. That one is kind of more basic syrup. Today we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into our syrups and we're gonna make some that are really fall and autumn inspired. So let's get straight into it. So we're making 3 syrups today, just like the last video. The 3 syrups are gonna be a ginger syrup, a cinnamon syrup, and a chamomile syrup. I've been really into chamomile tea lately and I want to see if I can make like a fun little syrup with it. So we're going to try that today. But we're going to start off with our ginger syrup because that one's going to take the longest to make. Okay, so we're starting with our ginger syrup because this has to steep for about an hour. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start with 1 cup of water and 1 cup of our ginger. 1 whole cup of water. And then I've already peeled and sliced my ginger here and I'm just throwing that in as well. So we're gonna start off by basically making a ginger water, and then we're gonna put the sugar in after we've strained the ginger out because we don't want the ginger to get all syrupy and just gross. So we can put the sugar in later and we'll just make some fun steeped ginger water to begin with. So I'm gonna go put this on the stove and I'm gonna bring it up to a boil and then cover it and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Okay, so while that is happening behind us, we're gonna get on to the next thing, which is gonna be our cinnamon one. So for this one, we're gonna be starting off the same. We're gonna start off with 1 cup of water. And then I'm gonna be putting in 3 cinnamon sticks. If you wanted to make this spicier, then you could put more cinnamon in, but I think that this is gonna be a good amount. And we're gonna do the same thing as the last one. We're gonna bring this to a boil, cover it, and simmer, but this time we're only gonna simmer for 10 minutes. So now starting our last one, which is gonna be our chamomile syrup, we're gonna start the same way with 1 cup of water. So I'm gonna be adding in 2 lemon peels, and then I'm gonna bring this water up to a boil, and then we're gonna add in 3 chamomile tea bags. Now, if you actually had chamomile flowers, that would be way better, but unfortunately I couldn't get my hands on them, so I'm just gonna use chamomile tea because it's like practically the same thing. So we're gonna bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to add my tea bags in, and we're using 3. Okay, so now that we've got all of our pots on the stove, we are gonna just have to wait for 10 to 15 minutes till these are all done. But I will check back in with you after. Okay, and we're back. So just to recap what we've done so far, we've brought all of these up to a boil, we've covered it, and we've let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. 10 minutes for the cinnamon and the chamomile, and then 15 minutes for the ginger, and that's on a simmer. And then we turned off the heat and we let all of them sit for an hour. The only one that you really need to let sit for an hour is the ginger one, but the other 2 you don't have to let it sit for an hour, but because I was waiting for this one, I just let them all sit. So the next step is to add the sugar. The way we're gonna do this is we're gonna strain with our ginger one, because that's one I have right here. We're gonna strain out our ginger and then add our sugar in and then bottle it up. Super easy to make. These just take a little bit of time because they have to sit for so long, but these are great syrups to make when you have a little bit of time on your hands. So I'm gonna pass this through a strainer. Be careful not to lose any of the juice. Okay, now we're gonna add a cup of our sugar into here, and we're gonna give this a quick little stir. Once you have this all stirred and incorporated, and one thing you might have to reheat this to make it a bit easier for yourself because you have lost a little bit of water there and you don't want it to take forever like it did for me. So I would say that you can probably just reheat this to speed up the process a little bit if that's what you want to do. But yeah, and then we're just gonna pour it into our container. So I'm gonna put this one aside and then I'm gonna grab one of the other ones, which is gonna be the cinnamon syrup next. Okay, and then same thing, we're gonna just pour this mixture into our little container here. Then we're adding 1 cup of our sugar. And we're just gonna give this a quick stir. Perfect, then once you're done stirring, we can just pour this into our container. And then that's our cinnamon one done. And we'll put this one aside and we'll finish off with our chamomile. Perfect, then we'll pour this in. And then we need to press all the water out of the bags. Then once you've pressed the rest of the water out of the tea bags, we're just gonna add our cup of sugar in. And then heat this up and give it a quick stir. Okay, and then last thing to do is just pour this into our container. So all of our syrups are done. They smell really, really aromatic, like when I had them open, of course. And they're gonna be really, really good in some great cocktails. And so if you wanna see those and you wanna see what these syrups taste like, stay tuned because my next video will be tasting these syrups in non-alcoholic drinks. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, other than that, if you like me and you like this channel, I would love it if you gave me a like on this video and subscribe down below. If you've got any more recommendations on different syrups you want or different, maybe even infusions, I want to do some vodka infusions soon. So if you've got any commentary on that, whether you have something to recommend or you just are excited to see it, let me hear it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching and I really appreciate that. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.